And so that's where you learned it from.
That's where I learned it, and I don't know if it's like this or not, or it's the same one. So that was 1905 when they was married, and he had that son buried.
And did he know Brother Green or some of the ones?
Yeah, he'd sing that.
And that was supposed to be a true story, wasn't it?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, companion draw nigh.
Companion draw nigh, they say I must die. Early the summons have come from on high. The way is so dark, and yet I must go. Oh, it's a sorrow you never may know. Only a prayer, only a tear. Oh, if sister and mother were here. Only a song will comfort and cheer. Only a word from a book so dear. Oh, can you not bow and pray with me now? Sad the regret we've never learned how to come before him who only can save. Winning in triumph through death and the grave. Only a prayer, only a tear. Oh, if sister and mother were here. It's only a song for comfort and cheer. Only a word from that book so dear. Can you not sing a song of this love? How we come down from mansions above to bleed and to die on Calvary's tree, bringing salvation to sinners like me. A loss of this soul, but thus it must be. No word or comfort or promise for me to die without God, our hope in this sun, covered in darkness, bereaved and undone.
The drunkard's doom.
So Mary, speak one word to me. No more I'll cause you pain. No more I'll break your loving heart. Nor ever get drunk again. Dear Mary, speak this Edward's voice. I know with this she cried. I woke and true my Mary dear was kneeling by my side. I pressed her to my throbbing heart, while joy with tears would flow. And ever since has heaven blessed for sending me that dream. Mary's farm did waste away. I saw her sunken eyes. My babes on straw and sickness lay. I heard their wailing cries. Oh, Papa, come and wake her up. The people say she's dead. Just make her speak and smile once more, and we will never cry for bread. Never cry for bread. I wish that I'd have never seen him, or that I died when I was young. I think of her and handsome lady was stricken by his lying tongue. Which I claim to be wrong. He was and loved another, leaving me to reform. Sweet home, so far away. I'm done most of you. Sweetheart, so far away. You slighted me, but I wish you well. If you're on earth, no more I see. I won't treat you like you did me. My dear sweetheart, so fare you well. You slighted me, but I wish you well. And if you're on earth, if you on earth, no more I see. I wouldn't treat you like you did me. You know, if Are you ready, my dear?
Yeah. Yeah.
My dear sweetheart, so fare you. My dear sweetheart, so fare you well. You slighted me, but I wish you well. And if you on earth no more I see, I wouldn't serve you like you did me. We'll go to Christ to morning we, for satisfied I never can sleep. You turned me away and broke my heart. Oh, how can I from you depart? My dear sweetheart, my harmless dove, I hope we'll meet in the world above, and there in peace forever to dwell. My dear sweetheart, so fare you well. In many an hour I spent with you, I never knew you were not true. I found it out and cried aloud, and I must in all this crowd. You are all for this to blame, that I must die in grief and pain. But after death I will go home and think of me, you served me wrong. No pain of love I know full well, no heart can think, no tongue can tell. But I'll tell you in a few short lines, love's worse than death 10,000 times. Come all sweethearts from east to west, come view my grave while I'm at rest. Come all sweethearts from foreign years, don't lose your lives for they are dear. My dear relations all around, I'm going to heaven to wear a crown. I'm going there forever to dwell. My dear sweetheart, so fare you well. So who will shoe your pretty little feet? Oh, who will glove your hands? And who will kiss your red rosy cheeks when I'm in some far off land? My papa will shoe my little feet, my mama will glove my hands, and you can kiss my rosy cheeks when I return again. Don't you see that pretty little bird flying from vine to vine and chirping for its own true love? You stole this heart of mine. Oh, who shoe your pretty little feet? Oh, who will glove your hand? And who will kiss your red rosy cheeks when I return to land? So who will make your bed, my love? And who will dress it neat? And it's who will lie all in your arms if you no more I see. Oh, Papa, shall I little feet, little pie somewhere. When I forsake you, my love, they lost by the siege of me. Papa, shall my little feet. I could have known this. I'll fire you well for a while. I'm going, but I'll come back again. If I go 10,000 miles. Oh, honey. Switch to the Lord. There's 3 or 4 different tunes of them, you know, and they're all switch to the Lord, I've never been born. Or had I died when I was young, I never would have cared for your rosy cheek. I never would have heard your lying tongue. That's one way to go. Round the love ring, we're marching round the love ring. We're marching round the love ring since we have came today. Step forth and face your lover, step forth and face your lover. Step forth and face your lover, since lovers came today. I'll measure my love to show you. I'll measure my love to show you. I'll measure my love to show you. Since lovers came today. I'll leave you because I love you. Didn't you never play that? It's what we used to play at school. You'd say, I'll measure my love to show you. And some do that. I'll measure my love, but some do that. Then get down and say, get down on your knees. I'll leave you because I love you. I'll leave you because I love you. They have to get down and kneel him on. I'll leave you because I love you. Since you are king today. We need one kiss before I leave you. One kiss before I leave you. One kiss before I leave you. Since love came today. And then they got kissing.
Oh, and it started out going out the window.
Going when they out the window and around this window. And all singing and Major Love, some Major Love and somebody else. Showing us how relaxing you are. Oh, Major, my love to show you. Oh, Major, my love to show you. For the last game today. Even on that new river train, even on
Yeah, you're doing that.
Leave on that new river train, even on that new river train,
the same old train that brought me here, someone to carry me away.
Oh, darling, you can't love but one.
Oh, darling, you can't love but one. You can't love one and have any fun. Oh, darling, you can't love one.
Oh, darling, you can't love two. Oh,
Darling, you can't love two. You can't love two and love hardly true. Oh, darling, you can't love two.
Oh, darling, you can't love three.
Oh, darling, you can't love three. You can't love three and then love me. Oh, darling, you can't love three. Oh, darling, you can't love four.
Oh,
Darling, you can't love four. You can't love four and love me anymore. Oh, darling, you can't love four.
Oh,
Darling, you can't love five.
Oh, darling, you can't love
Five. You can't love five and just hurt my behalf. Oh, darling, you can't love five. Oh, darling, you can't love six. Oh, darling, you can't love six. You can't love six and get your love on me. Oh, darling, you can't love six. Oh, darling, you can't love seven. Oh, darling, you can't love seven. You can't love seven and go to heaven. Oh, darling, you can't love seven.
Oh, I'm leaving on
the
the
new
new
river
river.
train.
Oh, I'm
Leaving
leaving
on that new river train. The same old train that brought me here is going to carry me away. One more time, Johnny.
Johnny, get your haircut short like mine. Johnny, get your haircut short like mine. Johnny, get your haircut short like mine, just like mine.
Love you for a nickel.
Love you for a nickel, love you for a dime. Baby, get your haircut just like mine. You can do it all night.
Just like mine.
Baby, let your hair down. One other. Baby, let your hair roll down. Oh, baby, let your hair roll down. Let your hair roll down and your veins curl around. Baby, let your hair hang down. right or not. I wish I was a mole in the ground. I wish I was a mole in the ground. If I was a mole in the ground, I would root this mountain down. I wish I was a mole in the ground. I don't like a railroad man. I don't like a railroad man. Hey, railroad man, will you if you can? I don't like a railroad man. It's so great.
Remember when
Working on the railroad.
Grandpa and Maw Maw McMillon first met?
Huh?
Do you remember how Grandpa and Maw Maw McMillon was when they first met, or when they first know one another, or did they always?
No, I don't remember when the first time they ever met. I remember the first time I ever seen them go together, but I don't know what it was.
Where was he at?
They was at the schoolhouse, going past the schoolhouse there. They'd been come down the road there somewhere. I don't know where they'd been.
Did he ever court anybody else after he started courting her?
I don't know whether he ever did or not. Whether he ever did that. Yes, he did. Like that lady coming out to the roof, sing so loud and lovely, break the heart of a green woods and charm the heart of a lady, charm the heart of a lady. How old are you, my pretty fair miss? How old are you, my honey? She answered him with a big 50. I'll be 16 next Sunday. I'll be 16 next Sunday. Won't you forsake your my pretty fair miss? Won't you go with me, my honey? I'll take you o'er the grass grows green. You never shall for money. You never shall for money. Won't you forsake your house and home and go along with me? I'll take you o'er the grass grows green and you can have liberty. And you can have liberty. I'll forsake my house and home. I'll forsake my baby. I'll forsake my husband true and go with a blackjack baby. And go with a blackjack baby. She put off her high heel shoes all made in Spanish leather. She put on her low heel boots and they both rolled off together. And they both rolled off together. Late last night when her Lord come home inquiring of his lady, servant said on every hand she's gone with a blackjack baby. She's gone with a blackjack baby. Go catch me at my old gray mare, go hand me down my derby. I'll ride to the east, I'll ride to the west, till overtake my honey, till overtake my honey. He rode to the east, he rode to the west, he rode one seed run muddy. The church comes streaming down his cheeks, and there he spied his honey, and there he spied his honey. Have you forsaken your house and home? Have you forsaken your baby? Have you forsaken your husband true, and gone with a blackjack baby, and gone with a blackjack lady? I'm forsaking my house and home. I'm forsaking my baby. I'm forsaking my husband true and gone with a blackjack baby. And gone with a blackjack baby. Last night I slept on a feather bed between my husband and baby. And now I sleep on the cocoa ground and sleep with my blackjack baby. And sleep with my blackjack baby. And other Dellie, he married Dickie Jenkins too, married Ross Jenkins' girl.
Well, what was Alfred's mom and daddy's name?
Oscar. His daddy's name,
Who was his mother before she married?
Who should never see Lenoir, Laura Miller, Dellie Miller, who's her sister was.
Yeah.
What is her name? I know it all my life. I know Dellie was her sister's name, and Dellie Miller. I think he did some of her. She was Jean's wife's in there, her name,
She married his half sister.
yeah. Kathleen,
Yeah.
Kathleen, and then the other girl's named Dellie. One married the Shoes, and Ruby took her from
Ruby.
Ruby Barnes took her from her. They had two little girls. I think her name's Dellie. Dellie Jenkins, and she married Jim Shoes. They had two of the girls you ever seen, and then Ruby Barnes took him. Ruby Ide's brother. She's married to Ide's brother, Saul Brown. Ruby was. And Jim. He took Ruby, Jim, Billie's husband took Ruby from Saul.
Well,
From Saul, very nice brother.
now, is Ide and Hester Kim?
Yeah, they're sisters.
Well, I didn't know.
Saul Brown and Ty Brown, Buck Brown.
No, they had different mothers, didn't they? Wasn't that what they said?
Mm-hmm. Their sisters, Hester's daddy was Bob Walker.
The one that married,
Yeah.
yeah.
And then John's daddy was Willie McCarr. That's the oldest. I think she's the oldest John. She lived with Eddie now. And then Hester. And then Ide. And she had one named Coy. And her daddy was Louis Miller. She married Louis Miller. Her daddy was Louis Miller. Then Ide. She had the oldest. And then Buck. And then Saul. And then Ty. Old Anderson Brand.
Now, what was she before she married?
Eddie.
Mm-hmm.
She's a Sutton, both Sutton's girl.
Was she any kin to them up there in, on Big Creek, about?
No, them, Walter's people. Childhood Sutton, no, I don't think they're any kin. They're not being little. Not close, I don't think. I seen that they was singing John Sutton. I don't remember any kin, really. I guess it wasn't much.
Well, who did Sandy John marry?
Well, I think she was a fish. And Walters was always telling how her grandma was a girl. And Walter's grandma, one of them was a fish. And, I don't know. I don't know if you could see him. Yes, you could. And one of the, but anyway, they tell me that one of mine was a wheat. One of my grandma's was a wheat, one of the lemons. But then my grandpa was a shoes. And then my other grandpa was a Harrison. And one of my grandmas was a lemons, and one of my grandmas was a wheat. There's somewhere two of the wheats and the lemons and the Harrisons and the fishes. I don't know all that in there. Oh, I left behind. I go down the ditch anyway.
Maw Maw May Phillips' mother, Becky Schultz, was born on Cosby Creek in 1870. She first married Lige Fowler, who lived on the Sevier-Cotton County line, near where the Gatlinburg Road now passes. After having 4 children, Lige brought in old Liz Green on her and thumped her and treated her so ill till his daddy told her she ought to take the youngest one, Joe, and leave before he killed her. So she took Joe, the baby, and moved to Newport, where she washed and mended clothes for a living. When Joe was a year old, Lige sneaked to her parents' house one day and stole him away. Well, a week later, Maw, Aunt Becky, went up there and found the young'uns in the house while Lige wasn't there. She said they was black as coal, so she took them to Mr. Fowler's and kept them a week and cleaned them up. Then she had to go back to Newport. Around 1899, Maw stayed with John Harrison, a widower, on Cosby. He promised to marry her and got her pregnant, but then he didn't marry her. So when Maw Maw was born and Maw took her home, her parents said she could never stay there no more. Maw took sick and everybody thought she had died. When John Harrison heard about it, he came on an old gray mare and put Maw on it and carried Maw Maw through trails and creeks to Maw's brother Johnny's. He first took her to his house and asked her to come in, but she said no, she'd see him in hell first before she'd ever come in there again. Well, while she was at her brother's, an Indian cure doctor came through and told them how to take some liquor and something to make her better. Well, finally she did get better and went back to Newport. Several years later, in 1905, Mitch Sutton, some kin to Granny Rhoda McMillon, told Doug and Jenkins, widower of Elizabeth Harrison, John Harrison's sister, about what a hard-working woman Maw, that's Aunt Becky, was. So he sparked her and soon married her. Not long before, Maw had courted a Knoxville man named Esau Mantooth and was going to marry him. But a fortune teller had told her that she'd not marry the feller she was going with then, but would marry a gray-headed man who had come to see her carrying a walking stick over the hill. Well, Esau had got sick, and Maw hadn't heard from him and thought that he had left her. So when Doug and Jenkins came a-courting, she soon married him. Maw Maw Phillips still remembers the wedding day when she was only 5 years old. She said that he had told her that his daughter Betty had a little chair that she could sit in, and she did. They lived in a house on the McMillon side of the trail holler. Maw Maw said that she always knew that John Harrison was her daddy, but she never had spoke to him until she was 14. One Sunday when she was close to Sally Phillips's, that's Walter, her husband's mother's, after meeting at McMillon's. The meeting is same thing as church. John was there and Sally wanted Maw Maw to meet him. She didn't tell May right off that John was there, and that's her daddy. May said first she didn't want to go up there and all them people there, but she did, and John came out. And Sally said, "Do you know who this is, May?" Maw Maw said, "I guess so," and John hugged her. He wanted to take her with him and send her to school, but she wouldn't because his children by his second wife made fun of her. He said she was more like him than any of his children. He often said that he was going to leave her as much money or land as he did the rest, but he died of food poisoning before he ever made a will. Ma said that Branch Harrison, her half-brother, was always good and friendly to her and Walter, her husband. And John always liked Walter. Walter worked for him a lot, but said the children would put water in his milk and sugar in his coffee to devil him. Years later, a woman came to Ma's and asked her if she knowed an Elizabeth Green. Ma said no, but I used to know one. What was it now about that time when the grandpa and them got drunk and they saw a fuel Walter or something or other? How'd that get started?
They used to go and play ball in that deal. And she would drink and stone all the music. Started with I didn't really watch that. Then they go and married. And the woman married Katie. Oh, I didn't know where I was going to get it in her. They're two, so they didn't have no little stuff though. Married. They didn't want me, they didn't want bullying. Look at me, I got burned up for years.
Yeah, I think about it. What was it? Now, who was it that was taking up for him and said they wouldn't hurt him, or what was it?
They was that high. They were kidding that all his life. When we moved from Crestmont, Howard and Sheila, that Maw old man fell. And they moved to Crestmont. Well, flew from this time, they were always picked up from me. He picked them, picked up. And she said, I love you, and she said, I love you. She my diaper. So she said, that fluid coming around. And she held me down and said, the fluid coming around. She said, if he comes around when I can crawl, so you can see I'll come to you. She said, if he comes and stay with me, I will see. And I told her I would. She said, I love you better than I sister, I'll go. She just went on that way, and I was playing this night. She got to we just got around. Oh, Lord, that much work, baby. They was at work, and we was at Crestmont, and they two sons, one and four, and two sons there acting, you know, and the kids, they ended up there in the house. Crestmont. And then they now, and then this point, and they keep up that place. And Lord, I didn't have no fire, it was cold, and rain, and Lord, when it come back to Crestmont, everything was cold. And they in the fall. And I come to John Lake Road, and they had a baby too, but and then Rose and Davis, they said, yeah. Oh, I was about 8th grade. And so I went over, she had to go over to the treatment. She's going down. And we got some treatment and got her treatment. And we couldn't do it. All around here, she thought she did. But we went that out. And she went to the elevator for years. We went after the doctor and moved her in. He's been there, and about 2. Well, it wasn't nothing no matter where he said. I asked him if I said, you got any more? What's wrong? Not anything wrong. She's got the flu like the rest of us. I can't get it till 2 o'clock. She said to the nurse, and we're going to do my I was just 70 years old, and I never had seen anybody die. And I was losing it, and that one day, crying, and they had moved everywhere, cooking and taking things and all. And I did that, I did, and then she died. She tried to tell us something, my mom just knew that. And all things, and you know, friends and died. Grabbing around looking for the Lord, and that was one of those people forever. And that was I think she's in there. And I knew she was trying to tell me heaven. And I had sitting there there and I said, you say, well, they think she's something. Yes, and they all had it in Bernie. And Mary had it told her, I used to know she didn't talk. And this is really cute. All that food and boy and food and food and dirty. You want to go. Take and the ones that got the rope and working on something too. And that little boy died and then she died. It's really, really hard. But it was fun to do.
The whole Crestmont area.
Crestmont, those are the this one is crazy, I see my little Crestmont is in water.
You know, what Mount Sutton used to cross the river from Waterville. Oh, is that where Sandy John and them live? Crestmont?
Mount Sutton, you turn across the bridge and right on the mountain before Dickie and Johnson. And then you go back 2 miles more and on the Mount Sutton, before we lived. We lived in the Y, what's called the Y. Railroad track went up there and back down that way, we called it the Y. We lived right there in the Y. We were asking me $10 for the house. It's good, got a good little kitchen. And they didn't used to have living rooms, and they just had 2 bedrooms and a kitchen. And glass windows, doors, and we got a cow in there. We bought a cow from us, had hogs and chickens up there, and we just had friends. And the water was on the train, and we stone coal all right the door. Poured up the halfway and get on the coal car, and then we stole coal off and what we wanted.
Did you look at? You start whenever you want to.
The war is a raging for Johnny, you must fight, for I want to be with you from morning till night. I want to be with you, it grieves my heart so, won't you let me go with you, oh no, my darling, no. I'll go to your general, I'll fall upon my knees, I'll offer him 100 bright guineas for your release. 100 bright guineas, they hurt my heart so, won't you let me go with you, oh no, my darling, no. She would be standing on some picket one cold day, and your rosy cheeks, they'd soon fade away. Your rosy red cheeks, they grieve my heart so, won't you let me go with you, oh no, my darling, no. Oh Johnny, I love you more than tongue and face. Won't you let me go with you, oh no, oh yes, my darling, yes.
Maw Maw, did you say that Dickie and Johnson was one of the first songs that you ever heard?
Yeah, I think it was. That's the first song I've heard, but I don't know who sung it.
Yeah, I guess you were just a little girl then when you learned it, wasn't you?
Uh-huh.
You reckon was you in school before you heard it, or?
Yeah, I guess it was.
So, where did you go to school at that time?
McMillon's. Never did go nowhere in McMillon's school.
Well, who was the teacher? Do you remember your teacher's name, or who taught there then?
John Jenkins' first teacher I ever went to there, but I don't know who's teaching then.
Well, was he any kin to Alfred Jenkins or any of his people?
I don't know whether they are or not. That was Hall's father-in-law. John Jenkins was married Crestmont.
And, well, is he still living?
No, he's been dead a long time. lay there, you Boston girl, dark and rolling eyes. Lay there, you Boston girl, you never shall be my bride. I asked her for to take a walk ahead and peace away, that we would have a little talk about our wedding day. We walked and we walked to dark and lonely place. I took a stake from off the fence and struck her in the face. Down on her bended knee she fell, her mouth mercy did cry. Oh Lord, still not you, Lord, I'm lost with her to die.
I am a roaming gambler, I gamble down in town. Whenever I met with a deck of cards, I laid my money down. Laid my money down. I went down to Washington, not many more weeks than 3, till I fell in love with a pretty little girl. She fell in love with me. She fell in love with me. She took me in her parlor, she cooled me with her fan. She whispered low in her mother's sister's ear, I love that gambling man. I love that gambling man. The Roman gambler. That on there. Dear daughter, oh dear daughter, how can you treat me so? To leave your poor old mother and with the gambler go, and with the gambler go. Oh mother, oh dear mother, you know I love you well. The love I have for that gambling man, no human tongue can tell, no human tongue can tell. I'm going down to Georgie, I'm going down to Spain, I'm going down to Georgie to gamble my life game, to gamble my life game.
What's that little there? So whenever she put baby's a sitting on the bank, so long as black. Little baby's a sitting on the bank, so long as body come flying down the way. They threw the nets around her, they drug her to the bank. Took little on his body and laid it on the plate. Considered, come spur me my life, and let me go begging it can't be a wife. You'll know the words, won't you?
Yeah.
You done ready?
No, just whenever you get ready.
Whether you sing or not. While the wedding bells were ringing, while the bride and the groom were there, marching up the aisle together as an organ pealed and there, telling tales of fond affection, bound never more to part. Just another fatal wedding, just another broken heart. I'd like to be admitted, sir, she begged the sexton old, just for the sake of baby, to protect him from the cold. But he told her that the wedding was for the rich and the grand, and with the eager watching crowd outside she'd have to stand. She begged the sexton once again to let her step inside. For baby's sake you may come in, the gray-haired man replied. If anyone knows reason why this couple should not wed, speak now or else forever hold your peace, the preacher said. I must object, the woman cried, her voice so meek and so mild. The bridegroom is my husband, sir, and this our little child. No wedding feast was spread that night, 2 graves were made next day. In one the little baby, in one the father lay. The story has been oft time told by fireside warm and bright, of bride and groom and the outcast wife and the fatal wedding night. I believe we got that all. I it on tape, but I missed that song in there, didn't I?
Yeah, who sung that song the first time?
Dellie, my aunt is the one first night I heard sing it.
Now, what was her last name?
Fleming's, Dellie Fleming's, my sister.
Where did they live at?
She lived at Newport and lived at Hartford when she used to sing.
She was about 14 when you learned it?
Yeah.
Well, why don't you sing that one? What you remember of it about? You may look for me, your eyes run water. I don't believe I have that tune. And
Get you with final words.
And Ma sung that one.
Down.
I believe I've got it wrote down at home, but I don't think I have the tune to it.
And you sing it now?
Yeah, just sing what you remember of it.
I don't know none. Just you look for me till your eyes run water. You will look for me till your eyes run water. You will look for me till your eyes run water. But I'll be home someday or another. It may be June, July, or August. It may be June, July, or August. It may be June, July, or August. But I'll be home someday or another. That's all I know.
And Ma sung that one?
Yeah. She knows more to it, but there's more to it, but I can't remember. Yeah, man, boy.
Bad boy.
Said that they had to put him in prison. He was mad, you know. Nobody got bitten, they didn't know it.
What? Oh.
Put him in the crib. Said he just saw the crib, you know, and they tried to feed him. He just jumped at their hands and bite him. And then she said her and Grandpa went and seen a mad horse.
Mm-hmm.
And they got it in the stable and tied the line to it way up to a peach tree.
Mm-hmm.
So the first tied to the peach tree, and then he just reached up and just grabbed them and break them off.
Mm.
And then some way they got it tied to a barn. Somewhere.
Did the boy die?
Yeah. Person went to Elizabeth Sutton's. Said she was wanting Phillips out. Said she went there and Elizabeth tended the kids and she went up the holler to pick a sack.
Mm-hmm.
And said she was picking and said she heard something thump, thump, thump. And she just kept hearing it.
Thought it was a painter?
Said directly she just no reason. His parents said she broke the run and said that she seen it then coming. And she ran under the house and told the man that's what his name was.
Did they kill it?
No. Told him to protect him. Said it had the biggest tracks he ever seen in his life. And it was a painter. He had been got her just a few minutes longer. I don't know whether that's
Whoa.
huh?
Well, turn over this and stopping.
Two little niggers laying in the bed, heels stretched on like shortening bread, shortening bread, don't mind them little shortening bread.
Shortening bread.
I can get on with you now. Ducks in the mill pond, swimming in the ocean, devil in the women when they take an ocean. Hi-ho, diddle day.
Then, I was that about the big dog,
I can't get that
big
up.
dog barking, little dog bashing. What was that?
Jenkins crawling on the Sarwood Mountain, hi-ho, diddle day. Hit my dog, I'll go hunting, hi-ho, diddle day. I met my own true love, it's mad, said he. I've returned to my own native land, and all for the sake of thee. I've returned to my own native land, and all for the sake of thee. Come in, my own true love, and have a seat by me. It's been 3/4 of a long, long year since together we have been. It's been 3/4 of a long, long year since together we have been. I can't come in, or I can't sit down, for I haven't but a moment's time. I hear you're married to a house carpenter, and your heart can never be mine. I hear you're married to a house carpenter, and your heart can never be mine. I could have married a rich king's daughter, I'm sure she'd have married me. But I refused the crown of gold, and all for the sake of thee. But I refused the crown of gold, and all for the sake of thee. If you could have married a rich king's daughter, I'm sure you were to blame. For only married a house carpenter, and I think he's a nice young man. For only married a house carpenter, and I think he's a nice young man. If you will leave your house carpenter and go along with me, I'll take you for the grass grows green, and you can have liberty. I'll take you for the grass grows green, and you can have liberty. If I will leave my house carpenter and go along with thee, have you anything to maintain me and keep me from slavery? Have you anything to maintain me on and keep me from slavery? I have 5 ships on the ocean wide, a sailing for the dry land, 850.
Both seamen.
Can read that.
Both seamen. 150 both seamen.
For to be at your command, 850 bold seamen, for to be at your command. She picked up her sweet little babe, and kisses gave it 3. Saying, stay right here, my sweet little babe, and keep your papa company. Saying, stay right here, you sweet little babe, keep your papa company. The kid to me, my milk white said, the daffodils not so speedy. They rode till it come to the break of the banks of the sea, 3 hours before it come day. She hadn't been gone but about 32 weeks. I'm sure it was not 3, till she began to weep, till she began to mourn. I wish I'd never left home, till she began to weep and she began to mourn. I wish I'd never left home. Are you weeping for your sweet little babe? Are you weeping for your silver and gold? Are you weeping for my store? Are you weeping for your house carpenter that your face you'll never see anymore? Are you weeping for your house carpenter whose face you'll never see anymore? Keep it on. So I'm not a weeping for my silver nor your gold, nor neither for your store. I'm just a weeping for my sweet little babe whose face I'll never see anymore. I'm just a weeping for my sweet little babe, whose face I'll never see anymore. She hadn't been gone but about 3 weeks. I'm sure it was not full till the sprang a leak in the bottom of the ship and singeth to rise no more. Till the sprang a leak in the bottom of the ship and singeth to rise no more. Looky yonder, it's my true love, as white as any snow. There's heaven, it's I do know, where all the good people go. There's heaven, it's I do know, where all the good people go. Look yonder, it's my true love, as black as any crow. There's heaven, it's I do know, where you and I will go. There's heaven, it's I do know, where you and I will go.
And Dory Gillen is the first one ever sung that you hear. Where did she live at?
On Gillen Town, Gillen Creek.
Was that on up
Going up there above that story, no, I was telling you about.
Yeah.
Up that holler there.
How old do you reckon you were when you learned that? And,
Well, the first time I ever heard that, I guess I was just about 14. Shoes. It's well up in the furry shoes.
Mm-hmm.
And I was about 14, and she was about 14, and she sung that song.
When the roses bloom again? Man.
And she had a feather, and I thought she was off it, and I thought she had a feather in her. She was about 14. She just read that song before him, you know.
Well, yeah.
And I was too bashful to speak, and I thought, I thought that was over. And I went,
Real long.
I don't guess I can remember.
Or just a verse of it for
Steady, my mind is still grand, you never leave me behind. What verse of it?
and
She hugged her and kissed her and slung her all around, down into the deep waters for knew she would drown. Those 2 little babies are sitting on the bank, so little on his body come flying down the way. They threw the nets around her, they drove to the bank, took little on his body and laid it on a plank. Consider, don't spare me my life, and let me go begging if can't be your wife.
the green.
Oh, Brother Green, do come to me and write my wife a letter. A southern foe has laid me low on this cold ground to suffer. I know that she has prayed for me, and I know that her prayers were answered. That I would be prepared to die if I should fall in battle.
Okay. And you heard your mother's husband sing that one?
Mm-hmm.
They had that song ballad
Yeah,
of
they
it?
did that long back. Well, 1905 when it was. And they had it.